couple stevia to try and stay a little bit healthier. But stevia can taste like bleach every once in a while. But normally, I do an iced latte. And I'm way into oat milk. As you know, I've tweeted about Oatly. And I think that's ever like the most. I think if there's ever like an elixir of life, a fountain of youth, like you drink something like the earth creates that you have to like climb Mount Everest and kill a dragon and then milk this elixir out of an ancient rock, it would be Oatly oat milk. That's just what I'm thinking. But in any case, today it's a pour over. This is a big deal today, people. We have an album, finally. Now, the pandemic did sit us back a year, but it allowed me to go out and make the movie Monsters of California. And that comes along with this album, and we have quite the next couple of years for you guys. But, so the pandemic was good, to get more work done and to increase the scope of what we wanted to do. But it was hard because we had to put everything on hold for like a year with everyone else, with everything else. So we now finally are announcing the album. It was weird too because we put out a couple songs already, Rebel Girl and Kiss and Tell, and then the world froze and got crazy and changed everything up. And then here we are releasing more songs. So in any case, we released Restless Souls today. That was a big deal. Now this it's really cool, fun, awesome, kind of Angels and Airwaves song, a bit of a throwback, if you will. Like every song on the album is super, super diverse. This was one that was from the start. We really wanted it to be like a lot of the old Angels kind of stuff, and with a little bit of a progressive twist, whatever. But as far as like all the songs in the album as a whole, they're all so different. I mean, the next song that's coming out, you guys are going to trip out. It's so wildly different. And then the one after that is so wildly different. So don't get caught up on pretending you know what the album sounds like because it's super diverse. One of the songs, I sound exactly like identical in every single way as James Brown. Like you hear it and you go, that's James Brown. And they go, no, that's Tom DeLonge. And no, that's James Brown. And they said, no, that's Tom. No, I'm just joking. I don't sound like James Brown at all. There's nothing on the album that sounds like that. Okay, so I hear that there's a way for people to be in my live video. And I could just pick you up here and we can like talk to each other. I've done that before. I just haven't done it in a long time. Would that be interesting? Anybody want to jump on the video with me? Let's see. Oh, by the way, I want to tell you that we actually, this is a big deal, we actually debuted our album in space. Now, a lot of times I make jokes on social media. I'll just say, oh yeah, I'm in space right now or something. For those of you wondering, we literally, I swear to God, we literally sent the album up into space with a company called Sent Into Space. And they played the album in its entirety, and then the screens that you see announcing the tour, that was like all done in space. I gotta hand it to Jimmy, our manager, that pulled that off. I didn't even know that existed. I mean, we're gonna send some condoms into space, bring those down, and let you guys use them. I'm just saying, now that I know I could put things in space, there's gotta be a list, like a hierarchy, like a priority list of what needs to go up there. And I'm just saying, I think condoms should go up there first. Okay. Now, we have a lot more songs coming out. We got a lot more videos coming out. And we got the album launch. We got the tour launch. So we have launched the United States tour. The first leg of a European tour. I see a lot of people kind of going, are you going to come, to Europe or Australia? And all these, yes, the whole goal is absolutely. And so this is kind of like the first kind of few dates. It's really hard right now too because every single band is trying to go on tour right now. So it's just really hard to get venues. It's really hard to kind of weasel your way in there and try and figure out what works. So any case, so let's see here. Who wants to come on the video? So we can talk. I think we need to talk shop. You got to have a question. Let's learn. Okay, let's see here. View requests here. Okay, I see this. Daryl, you keep banging up my feed here. Let's see if this works. I hit the button.
Hi.
Ah, well, hell, it worked. Were you putting the thing up every time I'm like trying to talk? I'm all, who is this one person? Welcome to
Oh,
my.
sorry. Sorry. This is my dog Yugi.
Well, hello. You
Hi.
got to get. Have you seen those things where they teach dogs how to hit buttons, and the
Yes.
buttons? It's like the most. So for people listening, they make these. You can train your dogs to hit buttons for what they want to say and what they're thinking. Like, I need to go outside. I want to cuddle with you. Fuck you. Whatever they want to say.
Yeah. Well, I just literally sent a random request straight away, just
Okay.
because me and my husband we recently got married,
Oh,
and
congratulations.
thank you. And our exit song was actually "Everything's Magic."
Oh my gosh. Wonderful. It's like a fairy tale. Do you want to
Yeah.
know what's funny? I wrote that song. They asked me to write a song. No one knows this backstory. They asked me to write a song for Shrek 2.
Oh
And
my god.
they want it's like a fairy tale. And I was like, well, everything's magic, and then they didn't want to use it. This little argument broke out between Katzenberg, the producer, and the director. Sorry, people
Oh.
are calling me. They had a little argument, and it looks like I lost the argument, or my song did. But I'm happy though because I think it went out and had a life of its own without being associated with animation. I guess So
Yeah. But yeah, we got married, and it was just honestly we're just like we need to have this song.
well,
So
that's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. Do
no
you have any
problem.
questions? I'll give you a question here. I'm trying to
Yeah.
be a good radio host.
Oh god. Okay, so we can see that you are going to be playing in Glasgow.
Are we? I haven't actually read the list. I just know to
Well,
go there at a certain time frame of the year. I got to be there.
yeah. So obviously will you guys be doing meet and greets, because my husband obviously would love to meet you guys.
Oh my gosh, that I do not know yet. I don't. I might be a little early to be talking about that for us. So we'll see. I guess is the point. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
thank you for your question.
no problem. Honestly, it was just like such a random request, and I just thought, hey, why not just go for it?
I love it. It was nice to meet you. Have an
Yeah,
awesome day. I like your red
you
hair,
too.
by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye bye. How do I click off this thing?
I have no idea.
That's funny. I just realized I don't have the buttons here. Wait, so how does this work?
Let me
How do I?
try. Oh, here we go.
That was awesome. All right. Who else wants to jump on the screen? We got another 15, 20 minutes. Here, view requests. Hold on one more time. How do I view all the requests? Maybe that's what these are. No. Invites. This is weird. Is there like a place where people have, oh, look at these. I got questions. I see I'm learning how to use this thing. Okay, here. Why weren't they 12 tracks? Or, people have these questions. Okay, so yes, that's a good question. I actually did record about 12 or 13 songs. I couldn't finish the last two, and I felt like I was rushing them, and they weren't going to be as good as they should be. So our plan is to release those next. We're going to release, hopefully, other versions of the album over time here in the short distance, but putting out more music and making different versions of it. I would like to do one that's mixed in with the score of the movie, kind of what we did for Love. So, things like that nature. Another question that's on here is, how's your ear? Yeah, my ears are good. So I did this thing, I posted about it. They went in and fixed my eustachian tube, where they put a balloon in your ear and they inflate it and it opens up and then it heals bigger. And then they did that in my nose too to fix my deviated septum so I could breathe better. My voice is still high pitched and sounds like me, but I can breathe better, I guess. So I don't know. That's good. Okay. Anybody else want to jump on? View request to go live with Jason Barlow 69. Let's see who Jason is. I'm hoping Jason's a nice, strapping young man to talk to me. My coffee.
Hey,
Well, hello.
what's up?
You're all silhouetted like a fucking important like deity. There you are.
Yeah, I tried to set it up to where you can maybe see me
Now
better.
I can see you now. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, I'm good, man. Thank you for asking. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, so I guess you were saying something about questions. I guess my question would be, what's your favorite part about playing live? Because personally, I mean, I'm 17. My biggest dream ever is to play music. I mean, you're my favorite musician of all
Oh
time.
my gosh. Thank you,
I know
man.
how to play like pretty much all your songs. I dedicate myself to learning that. So what do you think is your favorite part about just the whole live experience?
Gosh, that's a really cool question. And number one, thank you for being a fan. When I was 17, I was like fatal about certain bands and artists and stuff, especially when I was learning, I was starting my first band. So I really appreciate it. Okay. So favorite thing about playing live. Okay. So when you're a young musician, you don't really feel validated completely as a musician until you've played live. It's kind of like, I play football, but I've never actually played in a football game, so it's kind of like one of those things
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
certain you want to do. So when you finally get to do it, at first it's like this crazy rush. It's like adrenaline and you feel, validated and you feel scared because you're putting yourself out there, and then you feel nervous for what they're going to think. And then you feel excited if any of them think that, that they might have liked it or whatever. Over time, you start playing live shows all the time because it's like, that's the work. You made the records and now you're touring it, and you're touring so much that it starts to become a little bit routine. So a lot of bands tackle that because you start to lose that adrenaline. You start to lose that nervousness. And this is a very long answer, but it's going to answer your question here. Just give me like 3
yeah.
more hours. Okay. So,
Oh, no, I
so you
love it.
start to lose that kind of excitement and adrenaline that you used to get when you were younger because it became so routine. You've done it so often. So a lot of bands tackle that in different ways. You mix up the set list, or you cover other band songs, or you try to do more with your production or whatever. What I found is that now, it's kind of a balance of things. You got to switch it up a little bit. You got to put a hell of a lot of effort into the show. So when you're doing it, you're not just going through the motions. You're really like present. And
Yeah,
and then you got to like, for me the best thing, is like is really focusing on the fact that this is your art being communicated, and so I think as long as you focus on that, the routine or being sick or traveling all the time starts to get pushed out of the window because it's hard. It's a grind, no matter what you
yeah,
do. I mean, I'm in the film business now, and it's like, dude, those actors have the
yeah,
worst. It's just the same thing. It's like they sit in a dirty trailer, they're getting paid all this money to be in a big movie, but they're seriously in like a cheap little mobile home trailer in the desert
yeah.
waiting to be on film for like a minute that day, So everything's a grind. You just got to love what you do so you can suffer through the grind. And touring and playing live, some of the best and worst things are about the adrenaline and the nervousness of what people think. But then when that starts to leave, you got to start to like figure out new ways to bring it back in. Look at me. I sound like a teacher.
Yeah. But I guess while I'm here and I have the opportunity, I just want to say that honestly, I've been playing guitar for 5 years now, so I wouldn't have picked up and started playing if it wasn't for you and your music and everything like that. So I just want to say thank you for being you.
You are
Have the
so
opportunity.
kind. Thank you so much, man. And keep playing and go out there and do whatever it takes. Don't wait for someone to give you a chance. Do not wait for that. It won't come. You got to take it. All right. Have a good day. I think you got to click
You
off though.
too. Oh, okay.
I think last person did. Okay. Look at that. This is great. Okay. So let's grab somebody else here. What do we have? I see a lot of, let's do a question. What other questions do we have? Okay, let's find something good. How was my ear? We're gonna come to Mexico. That's the goal. We are trying to. But all right, nothing crazy on the questions. Like I'm not gonna like point to them and just say like someone's going, what kind of coffee do you like? And I'm just gonna say, well, it just depends. And we already went over that, right? Okay, Bigfoot, real or fake? See, that's a good question. Like, my fascination in Bigfoot lately is at an all-time high. I think because I've been studying UFOs for so long, I was like, I need like a new little paranormal kink to get into, and I've always thought it was funny and fun and interesting, and who knows, but I started like taking a deep dive on this stuff. It's like insane. I feel like there's more sightings and encounters with this bipedal hominid or whatever they call it. It seems like there's a lot more of that going on than even the UFO stuff. It's like insane. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. I got some surprises coming up with it too. But what's interesting is there's very similar encounters that are happening at UFO hotspots that the government studied with that Bigfoot type creature. So it's not like far out. It's in some of the observations, especially out in Utah at Skinwalker Ranch. There's some crazy shit there. So and another location. There's another Skinwalker Ranch somewhere else that has all these same encounters of UFOs and lights and orbs and Bigfoot or whatever. And you're like, what is happening at these places? It's crazy. Don't know, but we'll see one day. Okay, let's see here. Who else wants to come on live? Paperface Pixels. Who's this? Let's see what this is all about. This is kind of fun. I just talked to you guys all day. I'm scoring my movie right now. Well, not at this moment, but I'm supposed to be. What up?
Oh,
Look
holy
at you.
shit. Hi.
Oh, I hit your button. It grabbed you.
Oh, wow. How you doing?
I'm good. What's your name?
I'm Alex.
Nice to meet you, Alex. I'm Tom.
So I want to ask.
You got a question for me?
I do, yeah. So, do you know about the Ava movement?
I do.
Like the fan group?
I do. Yeah.
Have you seen that they made a cover album of Angels and Airwaves songs for you?
I have not seen that. I would love to see that. That's funny.
You should check it out. Yeah, I'm on it as part of it, but yeah, just so you know, we made a cover album for you, and it's really fucking awesome. So,
dude, that's really nice of you. Thank you so much. I mean, you guys have always been like doing the kindest, raddest stuff. I get books and stuff. I get to see such nice posts. What are you doing over there? You got to calm down.
So I
stop
just
breaking shit.
It's going wild.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for spending time on that. I'll check it out for sure. But I do see the stuff that you guys all do. It's the kindest, nicest stuff I see out there. So thank you so much. It's really cool.
It's all right.
Appreciate it.
That's all I wanted to ask, really.
Hey.
So I'll let you get on with some better questions.
Oh, it's fine. Thank you. All right. Have a good day.
You too, dude. How do I leave?
I don't know. You have the power, I believe, because I don't think I do. I don't see a way on here to do it. All right. I'm looking for more people. If you want to jump on here, just I think you just hit somewhere. There's like a request button or something. Okay, who's this? This would be wait 1 second. I'm gonna try. I see people saying such nice things. Okay, here we go. Okay, two car. Is this Tupac? What if Tupac came on right now? That would be actually really funny. And it would be cool, right? Well, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
Good, man. I just want to thank you for everything, getting me into music. Now I'm like coming out with my own stuff, and I'm going into the studio, and I was wondering if you have any tips.
Dude, I have lots of tips. Well, first of all, number one, thank you. Number two, I like your hat. Number three, what kind of music do you play?
I don't know. It has it's 80s vibes with punk folky acoustic stuff.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
My biggest tip is don't write the song completely before you go into the studio, because the computer can help you really think differently. But you don't always have to go in there without writing anything either. You can do both ways. I think a mix is always good, is what I found. A little bit of thoughtfulness on the front end, and then you get in there and kind of rearrange things and fuck with it or whatever. But the other tip I would say is, everyone writes a song and thinking you're doing okay, here's my chord progression for a verse, and here's my chord progression for a chorus. So the guitars open up here or something, Just take those moments musically that you would normally do on a guitar and just say, what if I did it on a synthesizer? Or what if I did it on what if I took all the instruments out and it was just the vocals over the drums? What would that sound like?
Yeah.
that, like, just switch it up. Just think you know the part, and then as soon as you're going to record the part, just go, how do I do this on a different instrument? You know, whatever that instrument is, and it could be a fucking drum. It doesn't matter, you know. And then you'll just find yourself going places that you never really thought. Most people think they go, okay, this is what you're supposed to do here, you know, but you might come up with a cool guitar riff and then go, well, what happens if you play it on piano and it's echoing around in the background, you know, like that might be really cool.
Yeah,
so.
Get weird with it. And that's why I love your stuff so much too, because it's like, when someone asks what's your genre, it's like you can't actually pinpoint. There's no band that's like you guys, where they're mixing so sick. And I tried to like emulate that in my music and stuff too. Be like, and yeah, I can't pinpoint my genre, and I think that's a good thing. So
yeah, I think so too. I think like if you can figure out the soul of who you are.
Yeah, you don't want anybody saying that you sound like somebody, you know?
Yeah, and I think you need to stand for something, you know, like whatever it is. Like a band that just writes poppy songs is like, oh, fucking my neighbors do that. But a band that has a soul and you stand for something, you have a reason to say something, you know, whether it's pain or happiness or love, or whether it's growing up in a broken home, like have a reason to say what you're saying. That way people kind of look at that as what the band is versus like a chorus that's really catchy about a girl. If they kind of knew the guy behind it, they might understand the words even more, you know? So that's how I feel, at least. I think like, you know, knowing who you are and making sure that shines, you know, that way it doesn't matter what instruments you use. It's like that dude's like a fucked up dude that has shit to say, and I love it, you know?
Yeah, exactly, dude. And that's why I love you're always expanding as a person. I'm into all your shit too. Like I've been on since you've been talking about aliens for the last like 7-8 years, like doing that, you know, and so.
Dude, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm kind of a weirdo. I think I'm very misunderstood. I think people think like I'm like not thankful to be, you know, in Blink 182, or not like don't love the music, or I'm pretentious because I only whatever. Like I'm really like not focused on, you know, what people want from me, or not even really what they like from me. I want them to like my stuff and I'm curious about it, but I will always be doing something that is challenging in art and to me as an artist, but also that has like the capacity to make people feel more.
Yeah.
And just doing things that I don't know. I don't know. I mean, writing another record can be hard because it's, you know, it takes a long time and it takes a lot of focus, and I want it to be really good. Making a movie, I was like, well, that's fucking, I've never done it before. That's hard. Like, how do I do that? I can really embarrass myself, you know? So I want to figure out how to do it, you know, or like putting a book out, you know, like, or working with people in the government. And it's like, you gotta like do shit you have no business doing. You'll learn so much more. And if you don't land all that stuff, you'll land a few of them and you'll be so much further than anybody else in like living, you know? That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, I feel like just looking at you, you know, you're always pushing back. If you're stagnant, it's like poison. You're always trying to do something new, which is...
I'm trying.
Awesome.
You're really nice. Thank you. Everyone's nice. I keep saying it. I'm not trying to sound like, not pandering, but I do appreciate it.
I'm Canadian, so that's kind of our thing.
Oh, okay. All right. It's in your DNA. Okay. I knew it. I knew you weren't American. Too nice for that. All right. Well, thanks, man. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Tom.
And,
keep it up, dude. Love you.
All right. Thanks, boss.
Yeah.
All right. We just met a nice Canadian. He's going to have to click off, as he did, because I don't know how to click him off. I think I would just end up getting right out of this thing. So, well, in any case, I think we'll do like one more thing on here, because I know people got jobs. I know most of the people on here, you guys are massage therapists. So, like, I'm sure you guys got to get back into rubbing people. But I will take one more person here. Let's see here. It's coming up. Someone asked here, what was my most recent paranormal experience? Want to know what was probably it, which was really cool. I was about 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, I was sitting on my patio deck thing that I'm on right now. And I saw this light like way back over here behind this tree, but it was way out in the sky. There's like a big view that way. I'm kind of like on a cliff thing. And I saw this light and I was like, God, the thing looks like it's flashing, but I wasn't really sure. I'm like, that's just weird. It's just kind of hovering over this weird valley of suburbia, you know? Didn't make any sense. So I had like a spotting scope that hunters use these things to find something they can kill from far away. But in any case, I have one to look at shit like this. And so I pointed at it, and I pointed at it and I found it, and it was a diamond that was upside down, like the point was at the bottom, and it had 4 colors striped vertically through it, like a rainbow, like a vertical rainbow, like went the prisma colors from like blue and red, yellow, green, or whatever. Like it looked like like a Pink Floyd album cover is honestly kind of what it looked like, but it was shimmering, super bright and flashing. And I thought that was really strange. And then I met this, and I watched it for a while. Me and my son watched it. And then after a while, left it, but it just stayed up there, didn't do anything, but it was there for hours. And then like 2 weeks later, I met this person that was having all these crazy like UFO experiences. And he had photos of the same thing from like a long time ago in a completely different location. I was like, oh my God, I just saw this thing like a couple weeks ago or whatever. So I thought it was really interesting. I don't know how paranormal it is. It could have been whatever, but I've never seen anything like it. I don't know what it was doing, but I saw it. And then I looked it up, and it was like there's a bunch of UFO events that have seen this particular thing. So we'll see, but I don't know. All right. Let's bring one more person in, and then I'm going to let you guys go. And let's see what we got here. Still, it's scrolling so fast. I'm trying to do it. Here we go. Okay. Here we're going live with someone else. Let's see what kind of mischief we can get into here. Well, hello.
What's up, man?
How are you?
Good, dude.
What's your name?
My name's AJ.
Well, hi, AJ. How are you this fine morning? Depending
Oh,
on
I'm
where
doing
you're at.
great. I can't believe I got picked. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. Do you have any questions that you need me to answer? I'll try my best. Uh-oh.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. How you doing, man?
I am good. I was asking if do you have any questions that I can try to answer and enlighten
Yeah.
enlighten you with my ridiculous knowledge of nothing. I have no knowledge of anything.
Dude, I got a great question. Yeah, so I'm a hugely, even before I've always been a fan of yours, but even before you started coming out about the UFO stuff, I've been a huge nut about it too. And I've always been a strong believer that like plant psychedelics play an integral role for thousands of years in our interactions with these beings, which is the way it's always been. And I have a 2-part question. First part of the question, number 1, have you ever wrote any Angels and Airwaves songs on any of these plant psychedelics? And number 2, what are your thoughts about how we use those things to interact with superior beings?
Well, that's a bitching question. I have not written any songs on psychedelics. I have done psilocybin, like microdosing stuff. I believe that it's the ayahuasca DMT, psilocybin stuff is super, super interesting. And, they're obviously, as you probably know, it's being studied at so many universities right now. It's curing schizophrenia and depression, anxiety. It's doing a lot of stuff like that. So it's not addictive. It's not toxic. So it's kind of same thing as like weed. It's like they kind of find out like, well, maybe this should be legal, and it grows, and then it's a mushroom, But in any case, I think that, and then if you look at people that take ayahuasca or smoke DMT, they have a lot of the exact same experiences, sometimes a little bit different, but similar in architecture as people that have UFO encounters or alien abductions and this and that. I tend to think that, when you take these drugs that are natural, that grow on plants, and you're right, like down in the Amazon and stuff, they've been feeding ayahuasca and DMT to like babies. When they come out of the womb, they'll give them a teaspoon of ayahuasca. It's crazy. And And they've been using it as medicine rather than you're like, you get cancer and do chemo. They'll be like, no, if you have cancer, you take ayahuasca and you go into your consciousness and figure out how that cancer manifested from something that you're carrying and stuff. Well, they did studies and they knew more people, and they're actually like being cured by doing this stuff. They're facing their fears and whatever. It's really, really, really interesting. So in any case, where I've basically have come to understanding how potentially it all works, it seems to me that when you take the psychedelics, you're able to see more frequencies. You're able to see dimensionally. You're able to see other things that exist either near you or as you travel into a stronger form or a higher form of consciousness. And then, and at first you'll pass, you know, artificial intelligence, creatures that are really far advanced, doing jobs, doing things to you or whatever. But those creatures seem to lack emotion and don't really have the ability to transfer past a certain membrane where people kind of go into more bigger consciousness, bliss, those types of things.
Sure.
So, and these are just based off of the books and the studies and the PhDs that are like literally writing this shit down at Ivy League universities, you know, like, you know, why are everyone seeing the same things and this and that? So I tend to think that it's really fascinating that the height of even alien abductions take place around 3 a.m. But your body produces DMT and you have the most of it in your body at 3 a.m. It's in your spinal cord or something like that. So I just find all those things really interesting, that there's something happening with consciousness that when you take these natural hallucinogenics, it allows you to see and experience in the same way as somebody that's just like in their bed at 3 a.m. and they feel or hear something. So I think we're going to learn a lot more about it. And I think we're going to find ways with medicines like this and genetics to start opening up our antenna, which essentially our mind is just an antenna. You know, our whole body is just resonating to a specific thing. We're kind of like a radio receiver, you know, and so I think that we're going to advance and be able to have access to see those types of things in a lot easier, in a much more easier way over time. We're getting deep on this stuff. I forgot that people are actually listening, but that's my take. And so I appreciate the question. It's fascinated me over the past year. I spent a lot of time actually reading and studying this stuff because I think it's really interesting. So
sure, man.
That's it.
I thought it'd be a good. That's a bitchin' answer, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Nice to meet you.
You
Have
too,
a good
brother.
day. It's time for me to bounce. I got to go record. Other than that, you're awesome. Have a good day.
You too, brother.
Thanks.
Kill it, man.
All right, everybody. I'm out of here, and we will talk soon. And my friend's got to hit the stop button on his side. I'm going to hit it on my side, and I will hope to be streaming a bit more here in the coming future. We got a song out, launch tour, the album cover's out. We got the date for the album launching. We got a bunch of more songs, music videos coming. Don't think you really know what's coming, because you don't. I think you're gonna like it. Okay, we will talk soon. Didn't tell you, but this entire time Matt Rubano was just right over here, our bass player, just rubbing my legs as if my quads are like super tense. So Matt's just been down over here. I'd have him say hi, but he's just making sure my legs kind of soften up. All right, talk to you later. Bye.